All right, our next guest is using the sound of climate change to create not only music, but empathy around the challenges facing our planet. Let's take a look.
Madam Gandhi. As an uplifting artist, a courageous activist, and a champion of gender liberation and personal power, she has a gift for getting us talking while keeping us listening. Her mission? Use music as the medium to promote positivity, personal expression, and human thriving. Please welcome to the Elevate main stage, Madam Gandhi.
Good afternoon, how are you? Thank you. As a musician, I require your great involvement, so I'm grateful. Thank you. I know I got the 3 p.m. slot, but I'm here with you for some good energy. I've been listening backstage to all the incredible folks who have been speaking on the stage today at Elevate. I'm blown away, I'm inspired, I'm humbled, and I'm grateful to have this 20 minutes with you. Make some noise if you joined me for the meditation this morning. Were you with me? The 10 a.m. Folks? Yeah, very good. Thank you. Very good. So I'd like to take 2-3 minutes to tell you my story, my motivation for using music as an opportunity to make the world a better place. And then I'd like to show you and present really as a thesis, as a work in progress, the project that I'm currently pursuing. So I grew up in New York City. I grew up in New York City to 2 fairly traditional parents. Academics were the main thing. But the truth is that I loved music. When I was in kindergarten, I had a bus driver named Harrison. And when Harrison would pick us up, all the kindergartners, in front of the parents, he would play the classical music station. And then when the bus doors would close and we would drive away to go to school, he would turn it back to the hip-hop station, So I grew up in Manhattan listening to Lauryn Hill, listening to Nas. And, all the lyrics and the opportunity for empathy and awareness and understanding somebody else's walk of life, it motivated me. I used to sit there trying to learn the lyrics, memorizing them. And music really became this opportunity to understand somebody else's story, somebody else's way of living. At the same time, between India, watching music videos, between New York City, watching MTV, all of that, I would see that there's also such rich misogyny, on the airwaves. Troublemakers, reducing women and girls to our sex and sexuality. And it often didn't match my reality of the incredible people that I knew in my life, the incredible women, And so I thought music and lyrics have such an opportunity to affirm a positive behavior, or such an opportunity to oppress and perpetuate problematic stereotypes. And it's very interesting because what's motivating me so much these days is just noticing how much junk there is on the airwaves. So much junk. Whether it's the food that we eat, the programs that we're consuming, the need to keep scrolling, these programs are designed to keep us just a little bit more lower vibrational. It's no coincidence that when we think of churches, when we think of Hinduism, some of the oldest religions, that music is such a vital part of the spirituality. Singing mantra, using vibration to affirm positive behavior, positive change, more love, more kindness, more intelligence, right? And so when I think of music, it's such an opportunity. It's such an opportunity. And so it was why from a young age I understood that music really was going to be the medium for me to use as a positive message, as a positive change. Music makes you want to dance. When you're feeling sad, you put on music. When you're in the gym, you put on music. Though when I'm in the gym, I'll be listening to the beats, and I'm thrilled, and I'm all motivated, but then I listen to the lyrics, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to have to turn up to the sound of my own oppression, okay? So unfair, I'm just humbly trying to go for a run. So listen, we can't tell other people how to make their own music, but we can provide and design the alternative, right? And so this was my life path. From a young age, I started drumming, dancing, producing electronic music, really using music as an opportunity to perform music videos, speak about gender liberation, speak about positive behavior. We've done all the LA stuff. I toured drumming for MIA. I got to perform at the Grammys. Just incredible things. My music video won Best Video at South by Southwest. Just, all the career stuff, all the good stuff. But then when the pandemic hit, like many of us, I felt quite lonely. felt quite depressed, all the bad habits coming back, especially as musicians. When we play in all the venues, they're happy to give you all the alcohol and the bad food and eating late, all the bad habits. You have to do so much work to really keep yourself in alignment. And when the pandemic hit and I wasn't, sort of on that addiction of accolades, like the hamster wheel of personal accomplishments, I noticed a little bit of inner work had to be done. Inner work, inner spiritual work, to make sure that the confidence was coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. And nature started to be this rich opportunity for me. I started sitting for my meditation in nature. I started spending time listening to how beautiful the sounds of nature are and how actually nature's made it so easy for us. It's such a humbling place to just exist. I loved, in the pandemic, I would look at the moon and I would have this thought that the moon is saying, humans have gone through hundreds of thousands of things. You guys are going to be okay. Nature made it so easy. So I felt this kind of new direction light up within me. Eating right, moving, taking care of myself. And so I started to develop this project where I was sampling and recording the sounds of nature, whether it was sticks, pebbles, streams, oceans, the wind. And the thesis became, if I can take these nature field recordings, which many people have done, but if I can take these nature field recordings and I can sample them and I can actually sculpt them into many of the electronic music sounds that we know today, the beat of a snare drum, the whiz of a synthesizer, those low bass sounds. And in the same way, you might walk into a grocery store and you might ask, okay, is it vegan? Is it plant-based? Is it gluten-free? Is it organically sourced? Where did the food come from? What if we can start asking the same question about our music? And so I thought, wow, I want to make music where not only the lyrics are good for you, not only affirming positive lyrics, all my bad habits have got to go, but what if the beats, the electronic music themselves, were 100% organically sourced? Are you with me? Is it interesting? It's interesting. I'm interested. I'm trying to work on this thesis. So I'm going to show you a 1-minute video illuminating the first iteration of this concept. Would you mind turning it a little bit louder, please? Oh, yeah, great. Yeah. Thank you. I really appreciated the bass in the room. That was very good. I'm happy. As you can see, the music is a little nerdy. It's a little techy. But the idea that I'm interested in is how can I take all of the nature sounds and mold them into things that can exist side by side in electronic music production as we know it today, and have it not only live in this kind of nerdy science sideline, but actually take it into a bigger concept where you have some of the best producers in the world using the sounds of nature and putting it into all of the Rihanna records, all the Lady Gaga records, so that when we're playing music back on the airwaves, it's actually an opportunity to reconnect with nature. And when I listen to this music, I feel the depth of it, I feel the difference of it, I feel the profundity of it. So I wanted to develop this more. I went ahead and I applied to go to Stanford's Music Science Technology program. They had a master's, and it was the pandemic, so there wasn't much else to do anyway. Develop and invest in your own skill sets. And so if we can pull up the presentation, I'd love to show folks the next iteration of the project. So again, the thesis is 100% organically sourced. How can we use nature to make some of the beats that we're hearing today in a modern music context? That was the first project that I showed you. We ended up releasing about 300 individual drum sounds, synthesizer sounds, bass sounds, that we can give those tools to other producers to go and make their own. And in 2021, it actually won the New Wave Award for Best Sound Pack in Los Angeles. So the first, hey, thank you. That's my homies, thank you. So the first thing that I learned how to do when I got to Stanford is they taught us how to build a hydrophone, an underwater microphone. So I'm sitting there, I'm learning how to solder, I'm learning how to put a piezo into a mic, drop it into the water, and we started recording the sounds of whales underwater in Monterey Bay. In 2022, in March, I had the honor of going out to Antarctica. So this is where the project really took an opportunity to elevate. Because I thought in the same way, if we can bring folks back to nature, there's a larger opportunity to create empathy and awareness around climate action and climate change. And what if we can actually sample the sounds of glaciers melting, literally sample the sound of the planet melting to create awareness of how severe the climate change problem really, really is. So here we have a raft that we would go out into the water. I would pitch the microphone underwater. It was very interesting, things like having to turn off the engine, but then they don't want to turn off the engine because it's a dangerous opportunity. If the engine freezes, you can't turn it back on again. So things like that, unexpectedly, you have to find ways of working around these problems. Here on the far right, you see a beautiful penguin singing into a mic for me. That was an incredible opportunity. And as you can see, the planet is so beautiful. The planet is so rich. The planet is so magical. Planet sounds divine. Penguins, sea lions, whales. So I took all of the recordings back from Antarctica, brought it to the Stanford program, brought it to the labs. We started playing back some of the sounds in ambisonics and starting to sample the sound of climate change. I worked with a team in the lab over there, and the process really is, the rule is, you can't add anything else. So if we're making electronic music, you can't add anything else. You can't secretly go play a Moog synthesizer or secretly go and record a guitar. It's 100% from the sound bank of what was recorded. But there are so many incredible techniques you can use. For example, if I micro-sample the sound of a penguin, you might get a synthesizer like bloop, 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 bloop. It becomes musical. If I rapidly play the sound of a glacier melting back quick enough, we start to get low bass frequencies, which I then was able to sculpt into some of those bass sounds that you heard earlier and the ones that I'll play for you shortly. Then, once you've made all these individual textures, you start making beats out of them, like any drummer, any musician might. So you're really creating the tools for folks to be able to make their own climate change sounds. In a moment, I'm going to play back to you one example of the beats that I was able to make during this process. But if you take anything away from this talk today, the lesson is not to go and become a music producer and make climate beats. That's not necessarily the takeaway. The takeaway is one of how can any of us, in our own respective careers, in our own respective work, think about how we can use our passion for purpose. Is there an opportunity that when you take something that's lighting you up anyway, that you would be doing anyway, and you optimize for your own joy, bravely, unapologetically, and you challenge that and you channel that into making the world just a little bit better, is there an opportunity there? And for me, the sounds of nature are the very thing that helped me work through my own spiritual journey in the pandemic, and so it's an opportunity now to start giving back. And so with something like this, my big picture goal is I want to score all the commercials with climate beats. I want to infiltrate the radio stations with sounds and mantras and lyrics that are good for you. I want to put these beats in the hands of producers who are scoring some of the other commercials. There's such an opportunity when it comes to music. Can we score films? Can we make music for all kinds of different scenarios, but music that's good for you? So please, we can bring the lights down. It's a meditation. There's no visual. This is the sound of climate change. I invite you to close your eyes and listen to the composition. It's about 2.5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, it's important to keep a little bit of sense of humor when you're listening to this kind of music, a little bit of a nerdy aspect, but there's also deep emotions. And right now, when I put out the larger body of work, the intention is to be able to speak to Spotify and Apple and all these spots to be able to have some of the streams actually go to fund a climate organization. And really, if we can use music to create empathy and awareness, the idea is to empower each individual to go and connect more to the planet and more to the desire to preserve it. So this is the thesis. I'm grateful to have 2-3 minutes left. If there's any questions I can answer, I'm here. Otherwise, I'll be hanging out for the rest of the conference. 2 or 3 questions, please. Yes, please.
What's your favorite animal to sample?
Obviously a penguin. I mean, how can it not be a penguin? Thank you. It's a penguin. Yeah, for sure. Gen 2 penguin. They're happy to sing too. They're grateful to sing. Please.
How long did it take to get the sample of the Arctic glaciers melting?
That was the easiest one because sadly the planet is melting. So I just would put the hydrophones under the water and for 2-3 minutes allow the sounds. It's beautiful because underwater it sounds fresh. It sounds beautifully tragic. It's like there's such beauty and there's such power in the planet. And then it's also, we don't want this planet to be leaving us so quickly, right? And so, yeah, the actual experience was very quick. And perhaps the question is very intelligent because it just shows how quickly the planet, how urgent this matter really is. Thank you. Please. A sample I can't wait to get. Actually, my dream project is, because the first project was earth, let's say, in the woods. This project is water. I want to do the 4 elements. So I really want to go to a volcano and do the sounds of volcanoes and fire. And then perhaps some project around air, whether that means even going to space. I don't think they have sound in space. So thank you. Great question. Please. The most important lesson that I've learned for myself in this journey is to follow your own curiosity, follow your own joy. Because sometimes I can't always explain the full why I'm doing something, but I think when you follow a sense of curiosity, enthusiasm, joy, the path lights the way. So I invite us to be brave enough to say, listen, I don't know exactly where it's going, but I can tell you this, it feels exciting. It feels good. I find myself getting up early rather than procrastinating. And so that's something that I trust because it's honest. Thank you. Last question, please. Yes. Tika.
Do you feel that this is now your hard work, your life work?
I think my life work will always be to use music as an opportunity to make the world a better place. As a musician, music has always lit me up through being bullied, through my journey, cleaning up my own spiritual journey. And so I think as long as my music is being used for an opportunity for goodness, then I know I'm on the right path, whether it's the gender liberation, whether it's climate, whether it's decarcerating folks in the prison system right now. As you know, I was teaching DJing in the prison system for many years. So this is it. This is my life path. I said that was the last one, but we're last one? Yes?
I noticed that a lot of this is in the north. Do you have any future plans, or what are you looking forward to recording in respect to other areas of the world?
This is a wonderful question. The question was, where else should we go to record music? I mean, I was just in Costa Rica talking to an incredible gentleman who is recording the sounds of forests alive. And Costa Rica is one of the most incredible countries when it comes to preserving forests and preventing deforestation. And so I think the opportunity is really, how can we exist in a world where we are listening to the planet, we are contributing value to the planet, we're coming with respect, and we're motivated from love. So hopefully Costa Rica. Thank you. My name is Kiran Gandhi. I perform as Madam Gandhi.